Hi, this is Danny Faught, and I am the show chair for the West Sound Choruses summer show, We're Back for Good, that's coming up 2023, July 29th. It'll be on us before we know it. And I am going to have a little chat with our director, Mike Menefee, and our assistant director, Chuck Rogiers, who might have had something to do with this show that's coming up. So thanks for joining me for a couple minutes, guys.
Thank you.
Happy to be here. This is fun.
My first question for you is, and whoever wants to answer, please jump in. Why is this a show and not a concert?
Mike?
Yeah, well, over the past few years, we have moved toward a format where we don't do just a stand-up concert. In fact, we kind of think those are a little dull these days. We try to interweave some sort of a theme or a story, sometimes with more success, sometimes with less. But don't worry, we still do a ton of music and try to also maybe have a chuckle or a tear here and there based on a story that's tied in with the entire show. What do you say, Chuck?
I started writing these scripted shows after having gone to another choruses barbershop show, and they joked around on stage about how we're just here to see the headliners. We don't care about the chorus. And I was in my seats. I thought, you know what? That's kind of how I feel. Why can't we make the chorus portion more entertaining, at least as much as maybe the headliners? You know, the headliners, great singing, great music. They've got all that going on. We have other challenges, but we like to work very hard, and it's a great team. Turned out some good shows.
Yeah. But what about this particular show? What makes this one special? If someone's been to a show before, why would they want to come again?
Well, I know what I think makes this show head and shoulders above what we've done in the past. And that's just the music. The music is tremendous. Mostly because, Chuck has arranged much of it, and I might have arranged a little of it. That makes it, of course, spectacular. But in seriousness, they're really fun songs that the audience is going to love. There's some sing-along opportunities. The guys love these arrangements, and so that also shows in their performance. And lest I forget, Chuck's a cappella Soundsation chorus will be joining us, and they are phenomenal. People are going to walk away talking about how these two choruses, both singularly and together, put on a whale of a show. I mean, watch out, headliners, because you might be completely overshadowed by these choruses.
Great choruses to participate in right here in Kitsap County. If you're a man or a woman, or just, they're right here, and they're a lot of fun, and they're growing.
Part of preparing for the show involved figuring out in Zoom, believe it or not, whether to point this way or this way, and who are you pointing to when you do that. We'll have to see how it comes out for you, Chuck, when you're trying to point at Mike a moment ago.
So am I looking at you now, Danny?
Yes, but Chuck was
okay.
off to the wall, I think.
Was I pointing the wrong way?
We'll see how it works out. But yeah, I'm not going to explain why, but that was very relevant for our preparation for this show.
Yes, it was.
Well, how long have you been thinking about the concept for this show?
Oh, that's Chuck's.
Okay. Well, that's an easy question for me to answer. I've had this in mind since about 2018. The whole concept of 2020 vision, it just seemed too cute to pass up, right? We had that theme rattling around in my head, and I thought, okay, well, let's get a song that fits that. I can see clearly now. 2020 vision. Oh my God, 2020 is going to be awesome.
How'd that work out for you, Chuck?
And then, oh my gosh, the world stopped, as somebody said, one of our surprise things that we're not going to talk about, because it'll be a surprise in the show. World stopped. So yeah.
Yeah, you did just drop a little bit of spoiler, but that's okay.
That's called a teaser in the business there, Danny.
There you go. I'm new to this business. I don't know. So I think you two have done a few shows before. Do you always agree on how it should go?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Good one, Danny.
Yes. No?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yes. Of course.
Okay. Oh, I mean, no.
What I
Well,
really
as long
asked was,
as Chuck comes around to my ideas, we're perfectly in agreement.
well, I should have said,
Yes,
when you
yes,
don't agree, what happens?
very well. I tell you, one of the things I love about Mike is that he has a very similar sense of showmanship to my sense. I grew up in Navy music and was a bit of a showman as opposed to just playing concerts in the Navy. And I found this guy uh, directing a barbershop chorus who had the same sort of mental disorder as I do, showmanship. And it's been a really good team.
Oh, I agree. And I remember watching Chuck's shows when he was the Navy bandmaster, and they were always exceptionally entertaining and with humor and heartfelt stories. And I just loved them. And so my job mostly is to stay out of his way and just help support his crazy ideas and make them happen.
Well, that might answer my next question which is how do you divide the creative work for a show?
I like to
I
let.
think, oh, please go ahead, Chuck.
No, I think we compartmentalize. Mike handles the music, and his creative vision is what the songs are going to be, and to rehearse them and get them ready and approve ones that work and ones that don't. Mine is just to weave together this crazy little script idea that tries to enhance the music. The script supports the music. That's my goal, my thought process.
And my job as show chair is try not to get in the middle of that, because I think I'll go splat if I try that. All right, I have so much I want to talk to you guys about, but I think I don't want to fill up my hard drive with the video, and I don't want to make an epic adventure just yet. So I'm gonna save most of those questions for later. But I do have one more for you. As a relatively new member of the chorus, I've heard of this thing called the West Sound Sound, and I definitely hear about it when you say we're not doing it. But when we are doing it, what are we doing? What is it?
Well, I'll try, and then I hope Chuck will piggyback on this. We're after a particular rich, solid wall of sound that is sometimes difficult to achieve for choral groups, especially a cappella groups. And we strive for that we refer to it as a wall of sound, a fluidity of sound, continuity of sound, and harmony. Chuck, if you got more to add to that, that would be great.
Well, I know that it hasn't happened by accident. We very intentionally have worked extremely hard to focus everyone's vision on what this sound should be. And Mike's daughter Alina came in and helped us a lot with a lot of coaching and cracking that whip, making sure, because one bad voice can spoil the chorus's sound. So if everybody's on board, you really got something, and that I think is sort of what we're aiming for. We've worked very hard at.
Yeah, and it sounds like we're getting there, and we're going to make it by the 29th.
Fingers crossed. I can't cross it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Oh my goodness, the last rehearsal is starting to come together. It's just so much fun. Well, thank you both for asking. Let me ask you some questions. Give me some great answers. Westsoundchorus.org is where you can go to get your tickets. I think you two already know where you're going to, well, you don't get to sit, but for our audience, make sure you get your seat reserved and come see us at either one of our shows on July 29th. And we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Danny. We'll see you all soon.
Adios.